IDW Sonic Imposter Syndrome Issue 3. The story starts out with Starline acting like he was just rejected by Eggman, looking unusually stressed out and frantic in his computer diary. He showed off a machine that'll run rings around Metal Sonic, and he planned on showing it off to Eggman. Then he confuses me by addressing Metal Sonic directly, when you'd think he wouldn't get away with saying all of that to him if he's loyal to Eggman. Doesn't he think nobody would ever see his diary videos? Then we see another video diary after Zavok betrayed him, where despite that, he still thinks he needs the will and intelligence of a living being and wants to fuse his initial designs with them. And we see Surge and her friend in the pods. Surge is right, does he ever shut up? But lampshading that doesn't change the fact that it's boring to give him way too much dialogue about stuff that we already know happened. Can you imagine a kid actually reading all of his dialogue, no matter how repetitive it is? I don't need to be reminded that he wants to surpass Eggman and knows that introspection is necessary for that. I want to see him actually follow that advice. So the story immediately starts out with Surge seeing exactly what she needs to because her friend effortlessly hacked into Starline's files, when he didn't know which password to say. His hacking powers easily sidestep the issue entirely. You know, Starline could have just programmed Surge and him to not want to do anything Starline doesn't want to do, like hack into his databases. But I guess I already said that. I always assumed we'd get to see Surge and Kit walk all the way over to where they need to go to get this information. Having them instantly at the computer at the start of the story feels underwhelming when we could have seen 2 panels of them heading down a hallway first. But instead they're right at the computer, which feels a bit too easy. Why did Kit want to log out? Kit says that now they know how he enhanced them. No, we don't. Starline said that Eggman used to put animals in robots when the solution was the other way around. They were just in green tubes. They learned nothing about a scientific process, because the writer's not a scientist. So why did Kit think they should log out? He's nervous about whether or not they should even be doing this, and Surge is rude to him and says she doesn't want his opinion. In the next video diary, Starline brags that his cybernetic enhancements have taken. So just like the Dark Legionnaires and Dark Egg Legion, he's assembled all the necessary ingredients to imitate the biomechanical miracles of Sonic and Shadow. But he can't imitate Metal Sonic, so why is Metal Sonic a silhouetted picture, and why would he only be in silhouette? And that fur in a vial was from Tails, but where's Tails' picture? I never saw him get any DNA from Sonic. And if he simply got out of Sonic's fur or from his furniture when Sonic was sleeping, why didn't he just kill him right there? Starline says, emulated, not replicated. I suppose that makes sense because emulators aren't an exact replication of consoles. I don't remember seeing him tear fur out of Shadow either. It sure is brilliant of him that he can mimic the ultimate life form, but I don't see why he would need to do that if he's already mimicked Sonic. It doesn't look like Surge or Kit can do Chaos Control or Chaos Sphere, so why would he even mention Shadow? And Metal Sonic, of course, is also redundant with Sonic, aside from being able to fly. So why did he mention Metal Sonic either? Kid Tsunami is going to need external support, and Surge will need electromagnetic propulsion, but he's fine with that because he wants to improve things. But that much power has to be kept under control. But while common sense would cause him to just not let them have the ability to betray him, instead he says he acquired the programming of Bell to have the means of fabricating and overwriting personalities. He says what we know already, and this makes Surge furious. Then we see a video diary of Starline brainwashing Surge into saying she hates Sonic. I must have said this before, but it's just idiotic of Starline to keep a diary of its plans. It's not like he has a really bad memory and actually needs to look at videos of his plans to refresh his memory. That should have been the explanation, actually. It'd be an interesting way to justify these videos that only exist to get Surge to see them. Surge kinda looks better this way, but she still had the black part of her head there. Starline brainwashed Kit into saying he lives for Surge and will do anything for her. It's so repetitive to show him brainwashing them multiple times. The two of them go from talking like they're being hypnotized and probably speaking monotone to acting genuine about it. He says he had repurposed the metal virus into safe cellular upgrades to make the cybernetics better. Sure is inconvenient that there's any metal virus left after Sonic and Silver sent them to where no one would ever find them. I suppose he just made them from scratch. didn't he ask Eggman how it was made? Wow, he's really brilliant. He figured it out all on his own. It's just confusing because they're not Zombots. Why would the cybernetics need the metal virus when they didn't need that in Archie Sonic? Then my time is wasted boring me with Surge and Kit going through dangerous test rooms again. Starline was shown wondering what Kit's doing here when Surge is running her test. Then I'm somehow expected to believe that he can't possibly erase their memories entirely, after everything else he's been able to do. Overwriting a file is erasing it. You can remove a file and put it in a different computer, so don't give me that. He says that with each revival of their memories, he has to edit. Couldn't he just change their memories? Why would they be changed back to normal? She wonders who she was before she was captured by him. I guess he didn't care enough to put that on video, since there's no record. Or maybe he didn't even know. Surge is naturally furious that there's no info on who she really is, and realistically, Starline tells them that it doesn't matter, because he eventually did catch them. Surge says predictable stuff, and he says they keep having this conversation and it always ends the same way. He raises his hand to try to brainwash them. Couldn't Surge have just run away first? She tells Kit to attack him as his eyes look weird for some reason out of nowhere. And Starline has to dodge some water as they wonder why Kit's not being hypnotized immediately. He uses his power ability to protect himself from the spin dash. And I wonder what the point is of showing us this scene if he's always winning over them, so I hope he loses. He knocks out Surge, and she calls him a moron and immediately gets up, saying she was made to heal really fast. Starline says he's the only one who knows their paths. Thankfully, they're smart enough not to humor him because what incentive would he have to tell them the truth? They're not Shadow with Black Doom. So instead, he's thrown on the floor, and Surge fortunately sheds a tear and says that now they're gonna burn it all down. It's confusing that she wants to destroy Sonic as well as the bad guys. Doesn't Sonic have enough enemies? Didn't she just get told that she was only brainwashed into hating Sonic? Wouldn't she want to do the opposite of what Starline made her to do? I feel like the possibility of that was what made me interested in this plot point. With Starline knocked out, Surge fortunately agrees to hear out Kit's plan because he's smart. He says they could use Starline's plan up to a point and then take it in their own direction. Logically, why are they still planning on fighting Sonic? I don't get it because that's what Starline wanted. Starline was knocked out for a conveniently long time, when of course if you actually knocked out that long, you really should see a doctor. And when he wakes up, Surge is pretending to be napping and he sees Kit in a test room. For once, Surge gets one up on him by getting to lie to him that he was telling them how he made them. She lies that she's fine with this and so is Kit. Starline says they're gonna upload his override program over the robots at Eggman's capital city to lure Sonic to them. This story by Ian Flynn had Kit conveniently hacked to immediately find out how Starline made him and Surge. Apparently he needed the metal virus, so since the metal virus is nanobots, I can believe that he used nanobots to change them. If he can't actually erase memories and he has to keep editing, wouldn't that mean that they should remember who they really are eventually, if they just stay away from him long enough? Why are they still staying with him then, if they care so much about learning who they really are? So this issue is all just a boring reiteration of exposition on them that we already know. All of that build up, and we still don't know what they were before. And we better find that out because that's the main appealing mystery of the arc. I can't help but find it frustrating and confusing that Surge still wants to destroy Sonic, even after she saw that she was merely brainwashed into it. And so there's no rebellion and pride in doing what Starline wants anyways. To the point where after Kit knocks him out, Surge pretends nothing happened and works for Starline again. What was the point of her finding this video diary then? If the story was just gonna push the reset button right after Starline caught them, he shouldn't have caught them because it was just a waste of time where Kit did predictable stuff.